What is up, YouTube? It is AvrielR32 here, bringing you guys a special deck profile. This is a Spellbook Blue Eyes deck that recently came in first place in the OCG. I wanted to cover this because, for a few simple reasons. Number one, it just goes to show that Spellbooks in general are nowhere near dead in the OCG. Um, and it also shows that something else can be able to compete with Dragon Rulers over there. Um, Evil Swarms really haven't been popping up at all. Really, this deck has been popping up all over the place. So, for those of you who are Spellbook players, if you don't want your stuff, send me a message because I want like pretty much all of this that you see here. And on a side note, High Priestess prices finally dropped a lot. It's like you can get a low one for like 37 bucks, and I might actually do that just to be able to have my hands on this deck because I highly doubt that they're going to hit High Priestess. But anyway, um, there are a couple cards missing, as you can see in my tabs. Herald of Pure Light and Mistborn Colossus, I believe is how you pronounce it. I'm probably just completely butchering it. But yeah, I couldn't fit the whole name, so I just put Spellbook Blue. But it really is a Spellbook Blue Eyes deck. I'm going to have a link. Well, no, you can just go on Shriek OCG, and you just click on the top thing. It's from July 20th. I don't know how big the tournament was, but I just looked at the first place deck, and I wanted to copy this down just to have this in my little inventory deck profile. So if I ever want to go back to this once the Blue Eye Structure deck is released in September, I can gladly do that. People have been saying that they are going to hit Star Hall. This guy only ran one Star Hall, and shout out to the guy who commented on my Blue Eyes, my Project Blue Eyes deck, and told me all the Japanese names of the cards because I was like constantly looking at that, and at first I thought I read it wrong, but luckily I didn't. So I was like, oh, thank God. Um, so, for those of you who are Spellbook players, you already know pretty much what all of this stuff does. Um, Maybe not a lot of people might remember what High Priestess does. It's just the Dark Arm, really. You just reveal 3 Spellbook spell cards in your hand, special summon it from your hand, and then once per turn you can banish one from your hand or grave to target a card on the field and destroy it. So it's a Dark Arm, but to a lesser degree. And it's a 2500 beat stick, which, of course, Star Hall and all that helps out with. I really don't know what most of these Spellbook spell cards do, just because I haven't really played against the deck a lot, and when I have, I'm just like, I don't want to deal with this. Um, so, anyways, let's go right into the deck. So, you have your 1 High Priestess and your 3 Magician of Prophecy. Very, very crucial in this deck because over half the deck is searchable because of this card. And then you have the 1 Jowgen, of course, for Dragon Rulers, 3 Kaikus because of Evil Swarm, Dragon Rulers, all that stuff, and then 2 Max C. It's Max C, and then 1 Blue Eyes White Dragon, 1 Maiden with Eyes of Blue. They finally changed it here on DN. It is Blue Eyed Maiden in the OCG, which is why I frickin' hate the name because I want Blue Eyed Maiden, not Maiden with Eyes of Blue. It doesn't sound cool. It doesn't sound badass. I don't want to be playing a blue-haired girl and saying Maiden with Eyes of Blue. I want to say Blue Eyes frickin' Maiden. But anyways, I've noticed this trend in the OCG where at first they were using triple Blue Eyes and triple Blue Eyed Maiden, but now they've kind of gone to just basically a complete Spellbook version with teched in Max Cs and or Veilers, and then just 1 Blue Eyes and 1 Blue Eyed Maiden, because really it's not crucial to the deck. I mean, yes, you do use Blue Eye Silver Dragon, or Asian Eye Silver Dragon as I call it, whatever the name is, Assure Eye Silver Dragon, but it's just it's not the main focus of the deck. The whole focus of the deck is your spellbooks, really, and with Blue Eyed Maiden being a 1-star spellcaster also, which ties in perfectly with all your other spellcasters since everything is a spellcaster except for the 1 Blue Eyes and the 2 Max C, and also your monster count's just so low. It fits in perfectly. It opens up synchro plays so that you can have a synchro arsenal backing you up, and then she's basically unkillable. For those, I'll just, in a nutshell. Basically, you want to attack my Blue-Eyed Maiden, I can say no. I can switch it to defense, that I can play Blue Eyes White Dragon from my hand, deck, or grave. Then, if you want to target her with a card effect, with something like, say, Hammer Shot or anything to that effect, I can go, okay, negate the effect, I believe, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, I can search some. Yeah, so if you go like Hammer Shot on Maiden with Eyes of Blue, okay, she pops, but then now you got to deal with a 3000 beat stick. So it's kind of like one of those backup plans, really, I guess you could say, but it ties into the deck perfectly because of the simple fact that she's a 1-star spellcaster. So then moving on to the spells, because that's over half your deck. Spellbook of Secrets. searches out anything here. Goes secrets, master. Isn't the play like you play secrets to get master, and then masters copy secret, and it gets you another search, so it thins out your deck more. I'm such a spellbook noob, so I apologize. 1 star hall, 3 tower, 3 wisdom, 3 power, 2 crescent, 3 master, 2 life, 3 judgment, 1 eternity, and 2 fate, and a book of moon. This guy pretty much maxed out, or if not, went to 2 on most of the spellbook spell cards here. Judgment is just a boss. We all know that already. I don't know how viable this deck list will be come next format, since most people are hoping and praying, and myself included, that Spellbook of Judgment gets banned. But you know, it's spellbooks. Like, it's basically just spellbooks with a copy of Jowgen, 3 Kaikus, 2 Maxis, a Blue Eyes White Dragon, a Blue Eyed Maiden, and a bunch of synchros and exceeds. But it pretty much operates, from what I see, as a spellbook deck. I mean, that's essentially what the deck is meant to do. You use your spellbook cards to your advantage, and you have your Blue Eyes as a backup, and you just control the game with Jowgen if you need to. Excuse me. I'm like getting like really tired for some reason. But anyways, enough about the spells. Going on to the traps. Double Torrential, Solemn Judgment, Solemn Warning. Traps are, in my opinion, they're really not even needed for spellbooks in general, period. I mean, you have your obvious protection in case you need it, which I think, when this card's targeted by a card effect. Okay, so never mind. I was thinking that you could Torrential, like summon Blue Eyed Maiden and then just go Torrential and pop her and then just play out of Blue Eyes, but no, you can't do that. But yeah, like I said, I don't know what most of these spellbooks do. I'm definitely going to study up on this deck and learn how to play it, because this deck really does seem badass. I have most of this stuff. Like, I have the staples for it. I've got the Wisdoms, the Star Hall, the Power, and the Crescents, and the Eternity, but all the other fancy stuff I need. So hit me up if you got extra spellbook stuff lying around. But wait until September to contact me. And then for the extra deck, we have a Scrap Archfiend, Hyper Librarian, Tempest Magician, Ancient Sacred Wyvern, Black Rose, Crimson Blader, Scrap Dragon, Stardust, and Blue Eyes Silver Dragon. The broken Blue Eyes, I guess you could say. 1 or more non-tuner normal monsters. So, you know, Maiden and Blue Eyes. And it's a 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's a 9-star, so yeah, of course, Blue Eyes and Blue Eyed Maiden. His effect, in case you don't know, is that when he special summons Dragon-type monsters you currently control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects. So basically, himself, he cannot be destroyed by, he cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects, and then until the end of the next turn. Once per turn during your standby phase, you can target a normal monster in your graveyard and switch from that target. So your standby phase rolls around. He has a Treeborn Frog effect. You get to get back your Blue Eyes, which is really nice. And then for the exceeds, we have a Gotchi, Shining Elf, Digesto Phoenix, and Levier. Shining Elf is used in most spellbook decks that I've seen. All it does is whenever your opponent normal special summons a monster, you detach Exceed material, the monster loses 500 attack. So it's a really interesting card. It slows them down so that they can't run over your Raikou or not your Raikou, your Kaiku or anything like that. The last 2 cards that are missing in the extra deck is Herald of Pure Light. It comes out in Judgment of the Light, same thing with Mistbird Colossus. But Herald of Pure Light, it's a 2-star light, or it's a rank 2 light fairy type with 600 attack and 1000 defense, and it's an ignition condition card effect type. 2 level 2 monsters. You can detach 1 Exceed material from this card, then target a monster in your graveyard, add that target to your hand, then shuffle 1 card from your hand into the deck. You can only use the effect of Herald of Pure Light once per turn. So if you want to put back, say, you know, any card that you don't want, you could put back, say, if you already have a Max C, you could be able to put back a Max C. And then add that card from your graveyard to your hand, so you can add back your Magician. You could actually, the play you could do is you could have a Magician on board, powered up by Star Hall or whatever, play another Magician next turn, get the search, overlay into Herald of Pure Light, detach it, put Max C back into your deck, and then put Magician of Prophecy back into your hand, summon it, and then get another search. Next turn, of course, which is really nice. And then Mistbird Colossus, it's a level 3 Wind Wing Beast Synchro effect. 0 attack, 2300 defense, 1 tuner, plus 1 or more non-tuner monsters. Once per turn, you can target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls. Until the end of this turn, that monster's attack becomes 0, and its effects are negated, which is pretty cool, I have to admit. I don't remember seeing on the other thing where it was a level 3, because it's practically impossible to make a level 3 unless you do Blue-Eyed Maiden and Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, which, I could definitely see it going off, because if you summon Blue-Eyed Maiden first turn, then your opponent's already sitting in a bad position. But this is a really interesting deck. I know I kind of rambled on a little bit, but it's really cool to see decks like this, especially for like next format and stuff. And I've always been interested in spellbooks. I've just never actually wanted to build the deck. Back when it first came out, like I saw it and I was just kind of like, it's interesting. But with this deck list, it's definitely something that I want to tinker around with. Um, but yeah, so let me know what you guys think in the comments below about this deck. I think it's a really interesting concept because this has been going around the OCG for quite some time, if you've been keeping up with the OCG. But like I said, just go on Shriek OCG, you'll see it. It's the first tournament. It's like Popeye, Nagio, or something like that, and you'll see this whole deck list. We're only missing 2 cards from it, and that's the 2 cards that come out in Judgment of the Light. So hopefully the ban list won't kill this deck too much. I wouldn't be surprised though if they ban Judgment and or Star Hall, because that just seems to be what everyone's thinking right now. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Rate, comment, most importantly subscribe. Thank you for watching.